All right, well, welcome to this tutorial on Thronefall, which is one of the best um, tower defense games I've ever played. It is a tower defense game, but it's also sort of has real-time strategy, several other elements to it. You can see this is sort of the world map. These are just basically different maps, but as you defeat a map, it will unlock another map and so on and so on. The first map starts out here, and then as you unlock them, you kind of go this way, and that's how it works. So we're going to go to this map. This is actually the final map, but I'm not going to ruin anything for you. I'm just going to show you the first couple ways. And the reason I want to go here is because I can show you all of the different types of buildings and everything. So that's why I want to go here. That's why I'm basically doing that. But I'm only going to show you the first couple waves. So I'm not really ruining anything for you. And just going to show you so I can show you everything. So you click on you have to move your guy up here. You click on the flag. By the way, when you win this map, it unlocks a bunch of different game modes down here. I have this on my other computer, so I've actually defeated several of these, but I'm actually doing this on my computer where I record stuff, so it's a little bit different computer. But yeah, once you defeat this map, it will unlock these. So you can't play these types of game modes until you basically defeat all the maps. So that's what you have to do. So we're going to come here again. This is the final map, and what you're going to do when you come into the map, it's going to give you an option to select weapons. Now, when you first start out, you're only going to have a couple of these, and I think the first one to use, easy one to use for a long time, is the bow and dagger. I think that's a really good one. It gives you range and it gives you melee. So you get both of those. The other one I really like is the lightning staff, which has a really good lightning bolt, passive lightning bolt that does a lot of damage. That's another one I like. And then this final one, blood wand. You don't get this to the very end, but this is a really good one. So we're going to use that in this tutorial. But you can use these. These are all good weapons. Play around with them. But those are my three favorites: the bow and dagger, the lightning staff, and the blood wand. Now, you also get to pick from 5 perks. The perks that I like when I'm first starting out, believe it or not, are I like later on. I really love these perks: range resistance, where your main buildings start with 30% resistance. I also like this one where you also start out with all of your buildings start out with melee resistance too. Getting those two combined, I think, are really good. The other one, this is also good too, by the way. All healing effects. Look at that. I mean, a lot of times I go with this one too. So you just have to look through these and see the 5 that you like. I also like this too. You get this. This is a really good one. This health potions like this, where your units are healing themselves. And the other one is walls and towers have 50% more health. I like that one a lot. Now, one thing you're going to here's another good one too. All of your towers have 20% range, and their projectiles deal 33% more damage to enemies. So this is another good one. I'm not as big fan of the Royal Mint because I usually don't have a problem getting the economy going, and that's really the key in this game. We're going to talk a lot about economy. It's a big thing to learn early on. It's the hardest part. It's the part I didn't get initially, and we'll talk about that. This is good too. I like Elite Warriors. Now, I will recommend, this is sort of an end game strategy for me, but I will say that when you're first starting out, there's a couple perks once you unlock them that are really good, because you're going to have a hard time protecting some of your buildings. So I like this one, this Resilient Residence. Look at that. It gives your houses 100% health. Houses produce gold, but then you can also make those houses they get 250% more health, and they shoot arrows. So these are really good too. In fact, I even try to use these in some end game scenarios too. These two combined are really good. I like these a lot. But you may have some different perks you want to use. But these are the 5 that I actually used to defeat this final map. So I used Arcane Towers, Castle Blueprints, and I by the way, I see a lot of people out there saying I can't complete this final map. It's too hard. But the strategies I give you will allow you to do that. So you're not doing it right. You probably have the wrong strategy. There's different strategies, but whatever you're doing, and I see that in a lot of comments. I can't. The game was great, but I couldn't complete the final map. It was just too difficult. I was getting wiped out early. Well, there's some strategies you can take, and we'll talk about that. Then you can add these mutators. I recommend you don't do mutators until you have gone through the entire game. And you'll see here there's certain things you can unlock, achievements basically, that will allow you to unlock these. But that's something you want to do much later on. And if you complete these, you can see here, at least on this computer, I think I did a couple. Yeah, I did a couple over here. I got a couple other different ones with mutators. But that's what that's about. All right, so we're going to click on this. We're going to play it, and now we're going to do just a walkthrough on the first few waves, and that's going to be the tutorial, and it hopefully will help you learn some things that I didn't know in the beginning of the game, which I should have known. All right, so we're going to hit play. Now, when you first come in here, every map is going to have the same thing. You're going to have this one little dot here, and that's where your first castle must go. You have to put it there, and until that's done, you basically can't you can't lay down anything. So you gotta spend 3 gold. Here's your gold balance down here. Here we'll talk about this in a little bit. This is the enemy that's coming the wave. The wave doesn't start until you start it, so that's good. If you ever want to see what wave you're on, you hit the escape button, and this gives you a lot of information. This will tell you that you're on wave 1. There's going to be 15 of these waves. It'll tell you how much income you're currently you've got. It'll tell you what's coming at you, and it'll tell you your current loadout. So that was actually, I remember I couldn't find the wave that easily. Well, that's how you do it. You just hit the escape button, and you'll see the wave. And it'll even tell you, you can even go ahead and it'll tell you the future stuff that's coming. That can actually help you plan out too. So that's that. So the first thing we have to do is lay down our main castle. This castle cannot be destroyed. So if this is destroyed, the game is over. The nice thing about this game, which I really love, it's not a true roguelite. You actually can restart where you got killed or where you lost your base effectively. But you notice that when we put this structure down, now we've got all these dots all over the place that do various things. If you go over there, it'll tell you the cost. These 3 dots means it's 3 gold. We've got 20 gold, which means we can lay down some things. You can put walls up. That's good. We can put more towers. Towers are very key. We'll talk a lot about those. You also can build shrines later in the game. Very important. Shrines are nice because they attack the enemy, and they also generate a gold. And they tell you that activates once enough enemies in its close proximity have died. Once activated, it gives you 2 income per night. I'm sorry, it gives you 2 gold. Okay, so that's important. These little things can add up. And here's the other thing: the enemy can't destroy these. One of the few structures in the game they cannot destroy. They do not destroy the shrine. Maybe they worship it. I don't know. So you can see here we can get some soldiers. We can get some more soldiers. So all of these have a significance. Here's some houses. We'll talk a lot about that. And here is where the first wave is coming. So that's important to know. The first enemy is going to come from this direction. So we probably want to plan accordingly. You want to look at the number. So in this case, we've got 20. That's not a high amount. We could probably deal with that almost by ourselves, but that's important. So keep an eye on the number and whether it's a ground unit or flying unit. Very important. You'll start to learn these, what they are, what's coming at you. Always take note of that in terms of where you want to place your armies, and we'll talk more about that. So you're going to be tempted. Here is the key to the whole game. And it's the mistake I made early on, and I had a lot of losses because I wasn't thinking about this game correctly. I was thinking about it incorrectly. And you're tempted to come in here, just natural instincts is come in here and start building walls, start coming in and building towers, and you do need these. You will need these. But the mistake is you want to actually focus on the economy first. You need to start generating a lot of gold, especially on the later levels. You're going to need a ton of gold because you're going to need fully upgraded units. You're going to need to do all the upgrades. You're going to need to get fully upgraded towers, all this stuff. So if you start building walls, think about it, you're not generating income. So income always comes first. So the first thing we're going to do with this wave is I'm not going to build any defensive structures. I'm actually going to build a couple of houses, because houses generate income. We want to get income going. Now, one of the few things is you do want to sort of get an army out. Now, armies, think of that as a portable defense and offense. That's why you don't need to build all these walls and stuff up, because they just stay where they're at. But the nice thing about an army is you can take it with you. So the first thing I always do, especially on these harder maps later on, is I get at least some knights going. And I should, you know what? I should have let's do this. I wanted to show you actually the selection. So it'll let you select. I'm not going to select these guys, but it'll let you select what type of, and these are the infantry units that you want. Now, I almost always go knights because they're, as it says, they're versatile, they're well armored, and they're good against range. These other ones, there might be some reasons, but for the most part, I almost always pick the knights. The other thing I like to get, the other thing you get in this game are heroes. We're going to talk about heroes in this tutorial. In fact, I normally probably wouldn't get the hero right now, but I'm going to get him because I want to show you the different hero types. These are the main different types. You have a golem, you have a support mage, you have a fire wing, and a lizard rider. These two, so again, this was an early mistake I was making. I was always picking the fire wing, and while that is good, I wasn't thinking that what I was doing was I was building towers to do the healing, when in reality, again, you can have a portable healer that does it better anyway. So I almost always, first hero I always get is a support mage. And then if, sometimes I'll either get two, if I have multiple heroes, I'll either get a support mage or I'll get another lizard rider. So that's how that works. Now, you may like these other ones, and you can certainly experiment with them, but those are my two favorites. The Lizard Rider is nice because it's kind of an all-around unit. It can attack both air units and ground units, and so I usually get one of these guys and one of these guys. Sometimes I'll get both. If I need a lot of healing, I'll get healing. So we're going to take the healer. There it is. Right there. So we've got a healer. Normally I probably wouldn't get the hero that quick, but I wanted to show you kind of how it works. And then let's just keep the economy going. We're going to keep, we're going to build some houses, which will generate 2 gold, or 1 gold it looks like in the beginning. Now, in order to, actually, you know what, I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. Actually, I wanted to get a shrine, but it's okay. We'll talk about shrines a little bit more. So one of the things that's confusing when you're first start playing is how to move your units. Very critical. You want to hit the R button and it selects them. If I hit R again, it moves them. So I hit R, I can get these, see how I can get these guys combined real quick? Just bring them over here, hit R, and they're all together. Hit R again, then I can move them down here. Now, you are going to be moving armies a lot. And see what we're doing here? We're kind of moving them down, and we're moving them down here. And we've got our portable army. See, we didn't need to build any walls. We might even be able to take all these guys without even a fight. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have enough for the shrine, but we'll talk about shrines in a little bit. Oh, and the other thing is you will see these things called summoning circles. Now, initially, let's do a summoning circle. This is probably not, actually we're not, because it'll probably kill us. But what you can do is you can buy this, and what it does, it'll spawn an additional mob, but because you did that, you get a very nice gold bonus. Now, if you think this is particularly useful if you think you can defeat the wave easy, and you spawn in something that's an extra gold bonus, really good idea to do that. So usually what I like to do, the hardest one is this big giant, I think it's a crab or something, or it's a spider, sorry, it's a spider, and it drops 15 gold. So think about that. You kill it, but usually I do that later on when I'm strong enough to take it. I don't think you want to spawn one of those right away. And we want to make sure, look down here, we want to spend all our gold, so let's get some more, let's get that economy going, right? That's what we're getting. We're getting that economy. We're getting as many of these produce gold. That's what we want to work on. Get a little bit of an army, and then start working on the economy. All right, so let's see how this works. Now, to start the round, you hit space, and then they're going to come at you. You have the left click, it automatically targets them and attacks them. To left click with the default with your mouse will do the special attack. You can see I just did it, and then there's a cooldown. You can see the cooldown is right in front of my character, and you can see our healer's doing great. Actually, I'm kind of glad I got the healer now, because we're defeating this wave, and I don't think we're even going to lose anybody. Doing a pretty good job here of defeating this wave, really easy. And, if you get that special ability, by the way, there's an upgrade to reduce the cooldown on that. That's a good one. I like that. But you can see here, we didn't have to put up any walls. Again, economy, I can't stress that enough. I might be beating a dead horse there, but it really is a good dead horse to beat. And there you can see we defeated the whole wave, and they didn't hurt any of our structures up here or cause any problems. We defeated the whole wave. Now we got some gold for some of the units we killed, and the gold comes in, and now we've made 15 gold, which was more than we did last time. So now we can see the next wave is coming over here. Okay, so let's do this. Keep that theme going for economy. Let's get a gold mine here. Gold mine, really good. Produces 5 gold, I think. Let's see what it does. The other thing with gold mines, by the way, is that you can port through those. I'm going to show you that real easy. This can be very useful if you're trying to move around real quick. Let's see. I think there's a gold mine. No, I don't think you get it right away. But gold mines are good for that scenario. Now, here, let's do the shrine. We're going to build a shrine, and I'm going to hit 1. If you hit 1, it selects your whole army. If you hit R again, they're all right here. And actually, you know what? Let's hit 1 again. Select your whole army. Let's move them back about here. I think that's good. So we'll drop them there. I'll hit the R button. Remember, R selects, and hit it again, and it deselects. So that's how you select them, and that's how you can move them. Now, we're also going to start, you also don't want to totally forget your army. Let's get some longbow archers going. Now, here you get a bunch of, you get crossbowmen, you get hunters, you get fire archers. The 2 I like are longbow archers, fire archers. Don't like crossbowmen as much. I think longbow archers are better. These guys, they give you armor, but I don't really care about that. I usually keep them behind they're in the back anyway, so I'm not so worried about them having armor, so I usually go for longbow. So let's do an R. Remember, hit R. We select them, and let's go drop them. And that's how easy this is. Let's just drop them right here. And then we're going to go, oh, we can't forget the economy. Can we get another house? Let's see. You can also upgrade the house, but we're not going to do that right now. There should be some more houses we can drop. So again, you always want to be thinking about that economy. Now, one other thing I want to talk about while I'm thinking about this is important. Some people, a common mistake that people make in this game is they worry too much about some of these outlying buildings will get destroyed, and they will. But keep in mind that you only lose it for 1 turn. So if it gets destroyed, it'll be making money back 2 turns later. And a lot of times, you can see nothing's happening over here. So this is actually going around. And a lot of times these maps are situated that round, where it'll be a while before the monsters spawn over here again. So this thing will have three rounds where nothing's happening. And you can probably defend it anyways with your troops. So again, don't worry about structures getting destroyed. They will get destroyed. If they do, it's not the end of the world. They'll be back in 2 turns anyways and be producing money. So again, that's sort of a fallacy that I was doing. All right, so now shrines are very important to get going. I forgot to do that, and the first one I didn't buy it. I ran out of cash. But in order to activate, it's not activated right now. So in order to activate it, you have to have creatures die within its range, and you'll see this green bar start to fill up. And once it gets to the top, you've got the thing's activated. It's making gold, and it's attacking the enemy. So we're going to try to kill units within its range, and you'll see it. See, just went up. We're going to get this thing activated real quick here. So you want these units you want to keep them occupied around this area. And you'll see once the thing gets going, it'll start to actually start shooting them. I think we're actually going to see, there it goes. Now it's actually firing at them. And that's just like a free attack unit and free gold now that you get going forward. And that's the thing. You want to think of these things like compound interest. That's what you want to do. Okay, and then these siege engines are pretty easy to deal with. And so watch this. We're going to see some gold come from this shrine now that it's activated. Watch, see? Just gave us 2 gold. We're up to 17 gold. We're increasing the economy. Very good. Now, usually you want to start to upgrade. You get 2-tier upgrades here. You get one which costs 7 gold, and I think the final one costs 20. I usually like to get the 7 one going, and what I usually select is the Royal Training. Now, some of these aren't bad. The Builder's good. Sometimes I do that, but the really good one I like, look at that, 75% health and self-healing for your character and attack damage. You want your guy to be as strong as possible. So usually I take that one, but you can fool around with the other ones. So, okay, so we did that. Now let's go back and work on our economy. Now, one logical thing to do is to sort of build stuff over here because the waves won't be coming here for a while. So let's put a gold mine. Again, we're in this theme of thinking about economy. Another good one, windmills. Very powerful. There's a couple different ones I like. The one I like the most, though, is the wind spirits, because it actually can deflect the projectiles and actually block them. So this is you could if you put your army behind this, they're not going to even be hit. So this I like the wind. The other good one's not bad as explosive traps, but we're going to go ahead and do that. And usually you got to start laying down the fields for it to be more profitable. If you upgrade it again, it gets a second. It allows you to put more fields. So get all this stuff going, get it out. Now, the one thing that's easy to forget, and it's very important to get it going early, are the upgrades. There's a couple different ones. There's the blacksmith, so we're going to do that. And then you're going to look at, you get some different options here. Now, this is going to be based on what you are carrying. In this case, we're carrying a wand, I believe. So it's more range. So in this case, it is the range that we want. Now, keep in mind that takes 3 days to research. Always remember, let's say we did this on day 14. Well, this is so you can see how it's important to get these going earlier the better. So we're going to go ahead and start that off, and you can see here there's the progress bar. So just keep that in mind. Don't forget about the upgrades. And there's another one. Eventually you'll know where these buildings are, and these are important to get going earlier the better. And here's another one, and this is the Royal Forge. Upgrades, more upgrades. So we hit this. Let's look at these. 40% cooldown for the auto attack. That's really good, not bad. 60% health generation. 40% cooldown for your active ability. But I always like to go damage or this one. But these are the ones I like the cooldown. We're going to go damage. I want to do as much damage as possible. Now, you can keep in mind we don't have it yet. It'll be a couple turns before we get that, but at least we've got it started. And so do we have any gold left? No, we don't. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've got some... See, now normally what I probably would have done is bought this shrine, but I wanted to show you sort of those other things here. Now this is, you know what, we might have screwed this up. I probably should have built a wall. I don't know if we're going to get past this, but we're going to put everybody here, and let's see what happens. You know what, I think I screwed this up because we probably should have had some... I probably should maybe have put a first wall up, but we'll see if we get past this. So far, we're doing okay, but yeah, or I should have had a shrine here or something, but we'll see. The healer's doing pretty good, though. But we'll see if we get past this, because this one... But you can see how important it is to have that portable healer. You can see why I like that healer so much. And I think we actually are going to get past this without, you know, without getting any buildings destroyed, anything. You can see here the healer is sort of... Sometimes you got to come back and get the healer. Let's go back and get her closer. So keep an eye on that sometimes. Like the healer was out of range, so always keep an eye. Like now she's healing again, so you got to watch that. That's really annoying, is the healer won't move up here. I wish she did, but she's not... The AI is not smart enough. So always keep an eye on that. If the healer's too far away and out of range, you got to... Now the range gets bigger because you can upgrade her. Now some spiders got through here. Let's... Okay, so we got to kind of keep an eye on them. That wasn't good. So let's go back here, take care of these guys, and at least get them off. I don't want, you know, one thing you want to try to avoid is structures getting destroyed. So if anything gets past, make sure you take them on. You don't want things out here because we don't have a lot of defenses built yet. So I think they killed her. So, you know, this, I'm kind of like showing you the ropes. I probably should have done a wall here, and that was a mistake. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to get some buildings destroyed. In fact, you know what we can do? I can show you this. If you get screwed up, I'm glad that happened because I wanted to show you anyways. If you get screwed up, you can do this. You can hit restart, and you can just retry the day right from that spot. So you don't lose really anything. We just start over. And the reason is I sort of got distracted with overbuilding, which I probably wouldn't have done. But let's go ahead and... I think we have to still upgrade the building. Yes, so we did that. That's a must. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the royal training. I'm not going to show you these upgradeds anymore because we did it. But once you get that second level tier, you're going to get more options. Like one thing we get now is I can now upgrade the home, and that will give more gold. Did you see that? Let's go back there. Take a look at that. It'll produce more gold if we upgrade it. So remember, that gets a second level upgrade too. So that's important. Now let's add a wall. That was the mistake. Probably would have added a wall. I always sensed that there was going to be a problem. Let's see if we can activate the shrine. And let's just bring over every... Now, normally, I probably would take more time to arrange these guys in a little bit better way than I just did. And let's actually... See, we've got a little bit... We added some to the economy, but let's actually put up a tower here. Now, towers... I'm glad I did that because I wanted to show you about towers. Towers are good. What I like to do with towers is is at least... I don't have enough money. We'll show it in the next round, but I like to get these to I call it the sort of the armored tower, and we'll show you that. It's a good default tower, and it's almost good for end game, but because there's 3 tiers for towers, but we'll show that in a minute. All right, so let's try this again, and these guys will probably bust through, but let's try to get this active. This will make a big deal. See, we're going to get the shrine activated. That was another mistake. Usually, I like to activate the shrines on the wave that they're coming for obvious reasons, because that's how you activate it. So we're going to get this thing active, and this is going to make a huge difference. Watch when this thing, because it really does kind of crank on them. So let's do that. And we're probably actually going to stop this now because the shrine's going to get activated, and it's almost activated. There it is. It's activated now. It's starting to hit these guys with some pretty significant fire. I'm a little concerned. See, she's doing her thing again. I don't like the way, of course, you know, you got to move her. Make sure you move her. I don't like when she gets slightly out of range. That's very annoying. You can see here, we're actually probably going to stop this wave now that we've got that shrine, and make a huge deal. Even if these spiders get by us now, we've got some defenses to stop it. So eventually you do have to add walls. You'll learn the waves a little bit. You'll know, if you see a huge number, sometimes you'll see 100. If you see 100, might be a good time to start adding at least a basic wall. And this is a tier 2, so there's a second level upgrade. It makes the wall almost unpenetrable. You can see now we've got a wall, so they can't bust through here. But I don't like to leave the wall undefended, so I'm going to go back here. If you're past the wall, you can't really get hit too much, so that's good. But you can see here that's really stopping them, and it probably will be enough to clear this wave. So again, you have to play it by ear when you want to deploy a wall. Generally speaking, I like to get the first tier wall up at least early on, and it depends on the wave, and again, it depends on what you're fighting. You'll learn the waves, you'll learn the creatures, and what you needed to do. So now you can see they're still fighting down here. Wow, it's still going on. So we're going to come down here and assist, and we should easily defeat this now. You can see the some of the knights died, but they came back after they respawned, and that's the positive. They will come back, by the way, to the fight. That's the nice thing. They won't stay up here. They'll remember that there was a fight and come back. So we've defeated that. The economy now is getting quite a bit. So this is a good place to start adding economy to the economy, because we know the wave's not coming back here for a while. So let's build a gold mine. Let's actually add a windmill, because these make a lot of money, and they are also good for defense. So let's put up a few fields, and we'll do that. We upgraded it, so we get some more fields here. This is all good. So we're really getting this economy going now. You can see this. We're really get all 5 fields here. You get the idea. Now, the important thing to remember about gold mines, like I said, you can actually use these to teleport. Watch this. Just went over there. So keep that in mind. If you have to get over here real quick, you can do it. And that'll be good, because they will eventually start sending multiple waves. Now, important to talk about... so I guess at this point, you've got an army. I probably here we might add another hero would be good. I believe there was some... Oh, I think we need to have another... Yeah, I think so. This gets one more upgrade. I want to show this to you. I don't, but if you do this upgrade, you'll get more. See, what did you see that? Once I come here and hit this, it shows I get these extra dots. Do you see these right here? Watch that. So you get extra structures you can build with the final upgrade. So that's what that means. And these are actually heroes. So it gives you 2 more heroes for this upgrade. And of course, it gives you tier 3 access to tier 3. which is useful with the actually, you know what, we'll do one more wave and then we'll call it. But I wanted to show you the tower. Very important. But let's actually, normally I'd be adding more to the economy right now, probably maybe a little bit more, but let's build a wall here. And let's build a tower. And then what I want to show you is let's do a second tier. And the one that I almost always go for is the armored tower. Look at that, 350 health. That's huge. And it doesn't get damaged for 6 seconds. So that's pretty awesome. So I like these armored towers to start out with in the beginning. Very useful. Now let's bring our army over here. Let's actually hit the 1 button. We'll select them all, and then we'll hit R to drop them all here. And we still have actually some more. I'm going to build some more armored units because I want to defeat this wave really easily. Actually, this is, yeah, let's get some more knights, and then let's pick them up. Okay, and we'll drag them here. And then what I'm going to do, this may be risky. We're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and summon. I wanted to show you, just wanted to show you this. We're going to hit this, and here's where we go. You see, for doing this, for fighting an ogre, we get 7 gold. They drop 7 gold. This big spider, I don't want to do this big spider right now, but that drops 9 gold. That does a lot of damage. I'm not sure. I probably could stop it, but let's just spawn these guys in. So we'll get an extra 7 gold for doing that. Now, probably, you know, maybe let's put up another tower here too, just to distract them. Now, probably what I should do is defend this gold mine. You could, but that's a risk. If all the guys get killed, we might not win that. But you know what? We're going to take that risk. We're going to take that risk. Let's see what happens. So we're going to hit 1. We'll see if this works out. Okay. So we're going to start the night, and we'll see what happens here. And our... Okay, so you can see here, we're defending it pretty good so far. And even if they get past us, you got to watch out for those guys, by the way. They hit pretty hard. You'll know the units that hit hard. It actually didn't matter. You know what? That was a mistake. See, you'll learn the mistakes. They got to it anyways. No big deal, by the way. Again, it's not a huge deal. And I just wasted my army, so that might have been not the correct thing to do. In fact, we're going to probably take a beating here for my... Yeah, that probably was not the right strategy. I should have left them behind the wall. So we're going to get several buildings. I'm not even sure if we're going to survive this, but we might. Got to get some more troops back here. It's going to be close. Fortunately, the army is coming back, but we're going to have some destruction here. And that's fine. Yeah, see, and then these are the things you'll learn. And if you die, by the way, I'm actually glad I'm showing you this. If you die, you become a ghost and you're out for 10 seconds. So, yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a hit here. The good news, like I said, if you didn't like this, hit restart. I don't even know if we're going to get past this. I think we are going to actually get past this, but just barely. And here comes the healer, just at the right time. And the good news, like I said, even if you have buildings destroyed, they come back in 2 rounds anyway. So yeah, it's a hit. You take 1 round. Basically, you're down for 1 round. Or actually, I think it's 2 rounds. But so you have the choice. You could just restart the round here. If you maybe what we would have done there is, in fact, let's do that. Let's restart that. And this is why don't worry about restarting rounds. So let's try that again. So we're going to put in. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Going to add this wall here, and this is how you can play around with this. We're going to add this here. We're going to go for that armor. What we're going to do is add a second wall here because they got through a little bit too easily. And then what we're going to do is we're still going to spawn the ogres because we want the extra money, and it kind of pays for this stuff too. And then let's get that economy really going now. So let's get these here. Let's add some to the economy. Let's get these extra guys. And what else do we want? We've got all the houses. See, this is what I'm looking. Let's upgrade some of these houses. Again, we want to keep that economy going, but this is just compound interest. That's the way you want to look at it. Now, in order to, let's put another tower up here. And let's even put another armored tower here. Okay, and now let's summon all the army units. And let's drop them here. And now, let's see what happens. And we're not going to spawn, I think that also was a problem. So we're just going to see this time if we can get past this. And you notice how now our guys are not getting hurt. Okay, so the gold mine gets destroyed, but no big deal. It'll come back, and it'll be making money. So, you know, again, not the end of the world. And those are the things you'll learn. Like, you know, probably wasn't a good idea to defend that gold. Now, maybe we'll get powerful enough where you can defend it. And that's the thing. You'll just know if you have we don't have a real powerful army. But as we upgrade our units and get more units, which you can do. And by the way, the final, we'll show that in a little bit here. After we get past this round. But you can see here we're doing much better. I don't even think they're going to make it past this first wall. You got to watch. Some of these actually can burrow under the walls. These guys got to kind of watch them a little bit. Go back and sort of attack them. These guys. Some of these units can like fly. There's some units that can fly and stuff like that. So you got to kind of keep an eye on that. And you can see we're getting through this much easier now. Much easier. Eventually. Always remember to use your special ability when it's available. Don't want to forget that. It's easy to forget, but try to use your special ability because it does a huge amount of damage, as you can see. Okay, they didn't destroy anything, so that was perfect. Okay, and you can see here our economy is really rolling now. 32. I mean, it's not as rolling as it could be, but you know, let's go ahead and let's get all these houses built. Let's upgrade them. I mean, we're going to get this economy completely going. Okay, so go ahead and get to the second level upgrade. Now, what I want to show you is the final upgrade here. And usually I take the Royal Mastery again. But also, like I said, you can add 8 if we wanted to, and you can even add, well, we'll do that. We'll add 8 there, and finally you can get 16. So you definitely want these, especially on this final map, you definitely want all these guys built out, all the upgrades going, and that is that. Now the final thing I wanted to show you, there is a tier 3 on the towers, which I don't have enough to buy. Important to show you this. Don't like to usually do this until the final couple rounds when you have all your money and you have money to spend. Usually I'll upgrade these to either archery or usually it's archery. That's the one I'll use. There is a healing tower which is good sometimes, but for the most part I use the healer to do the healing, and I'll make these archery towers. But at a minimum you want to have some of these around, like lay a lot of those around, because especially when the final boss comes, you want him to focus on these while you're attacking him so he doesn't come right to your main castle. That's the main thing you're trying to do, trying to tie him up as much as possible. So you want to have a lot of those armored towers around here, so he's attacking those and not attacking, you know, your final structure. And also put up a wall here. That's good. You know, just keep an eye, you know, wherever if there's a wall to build really close to your main castle, make sure you build that and expand it out. You can also there's a tier 2 for the walls. You can see here it's 12. Definitely you want to get those eventually built out, but that usually comes, you want the first wall out, but the second wall I don't do until the economy is completely built out. So I would have all these houses upgraded here. Over here I think there's a couple more, all those houses, I'd have all the mines built. There's another mine here, all that, the shrines, all that would be done first at this point. Then we'll start filling in some of the towers, upgrading the heroes. You can see here now I've got heroes right here. I will say that here, up here, I usually do not build an armored tower. If you have something that's really isolated, you might be able to make this a sniper tower. You don't need the health as much, so you can make this purely offensive. So you can go like make it to a sniper tower and then an archery tower, and you're going to make this purely attack. Whereas down here, these are probably going to get hit much more than the one up here. So those, I usually make the armor towers. But you can play that by ear. That's kind of how you do it. Okay, I think that's a pretty comprehensive tutorial. Thanks for watching.